Hey everybody, this is going to be a walkthrough on how to play the Ted Lasso theme song by Jeff Tweedy. Shows up randomly in season 2 in one of the episodes. I really liked the song, it sounded really interesting, so of course went online to see if I could find it, and there was nothing, so I came up with my own way to play it. And as you probably can tell, I had to get a little creative just because I'm using 2 capos and a little bit of a different tuning. We'll start off with the tuning though. It's really simple. You just have to change one string. You're going to drop your high string down 2 frets or 1 whole step to a D. That's it for the tuning. For the capo, you're going to do a full capo on the 2nd fret and then a partial capo on strings 1 through 5 on the 4th fret. And that's just so that we can leave this bass note open for, I believe, it's the very end of the song actually. So, but when we get there, I'll talk about that. That's the way that I came up with to play it. There's probably going to be some open tuning that you can hit, open D, whatever it may be, that is comfortable and enables you to play in the key that he's playing it in. But this is what I came up with. There's going to be some studio effects that he uses that I didn't go for, like really deep bass notes here and there, I think, but this is what I came up with, and so I'll go ahead and walk you through how I play it. I don't have everything tabbed out, unfortunately. The ones that I do, the parts that I do have, will show up on the screen for you. And then the rest, I focused on really just tabbing out the parts that were difficult to remember and really be consistent with, because there are some interesting parts. But the rest, the parts that were more easier to memorize, I just memorized and never got around to tabbing them. So I'll walk you through those, and then the ones that I do have tabbed up I'll show on the screen. So the verse is one part that I don't actually have tabbed out. Once you learn it though, it's pretty easy to remember. It's basically a couple different guitar parts that are layered on top of each other. We'll start off with just the bass part. It's going to be a bouncing note back and forth between 2 chords basically. So we have, and the second time you do the slide up there. The way you do that slide is you're going to hit the bass note, you're going to hit the D string, and without hitting the bass note again, you're going to do the slide up and then hit it. So it goes like this. It's a little stylistic thing that he does that's fun to throw in there. And then on top of the bass note, we're going to add in a couple more little filler notes, these 3 right here. And those are just going to go in between the bass notes, basically. So, and that's for both chords. So, when you play it a little faster, and that's the gist for a lot of the song. You follow that same type of pattern. There's a couple parts in there where he might cut it in half and then go back to it in full. So you have to kind of feel those places out. But on top of that, we'll add the melody, which is this. And you're going to, again, layer all that together on top of each other. And when you do that, you're going to get... For this next part, I also don't have tabbed out. It's really simple though. I don't know what part to really call it. Bridge. I don't think it's the chorus. But it's go along for a second, take your time. That's similar to just a bouncing bass note back and forth. You're going to be up on 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to be 7 and 9, 5 and 7, 3 and 5. And you're going to do... and then you're going to use the bottom 3 strings, 1 through 3, to just fill in really whatever you like. Because it all sounds... I really don't even know what he does exactly, but it doesn't matter because it really all just sounds the same. The dissonance of all the different notes sounds fine whatever you're playing, as long as you're keeping that same rhythm while playing it. So you're going to have... You just fill in, like I say, whatever 3 notes you want. Go along for a second and take your time. You know I'm yours if you remember that you're right. And then after that, you do that a couple times. On the very last one, you're going to cut off the last note. So you would normally do this 4 times. But you're going to cut off that last note, and you're going to do a quick slide instead. And it can be a little bit weird to find, but once you get playing it, up to speed, then you'll find that it just comes. So, and then you're going to follow that with the same slide plus the first fret sliding up, the first fret to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So, and that's the next part that we're going to learn. So you're going to do that slide, and your bass note is just going to be the same throughout the whole part. And you're going to basically be doing similar filler notes that we talked about before. And then you're going to lift up your middle finger, hit that open. You're going to put it back down, and then you're going to add in your ring finger to get that nice little dissonant note that really stands out at the ends. So when you play that together, and then this is just a quick little riff that's used a couple times. It's used here and then used at the end of the song a little bit differently, but I'll show you. I'll put that up on the screen here. And if you want to stay true with the bass note pattern of using your thumb, you can do that. I tend to use my pointer and middle finger for that, actually. So for this next part, I do have tabbed out. I did find this one necessary to keep track of because I don't think he follows a traditional picking pattern that is really easy to follow and to track down, for one. I think he plays it pretty freely. So certainly feel free to do the same. I think it just, of course, matters that you're hitting certain chords when he's singing certain parts. But the part that we're going to be playing, it's the one where he goes, "No, my hands won't be tied down." That And something else to call out, given the way that we have the capos set up, there's a part here that we're going to come to where you're going to need to be able to get your thumb up onto this fret here, where you have the partial capo, because we're going to hit what is probably the most uncomfortable and difficult to hit chord in the song. And in the tab, you'll see that it's represented by a 0, and that doesn't mean 0 to this capo, it means 0 to this capo, so it's a little confusing there, but we actually are going to be fretting that string even though the tab says 0, just a little heads up there. So you'll just want to make sure your capo has room to get your thumb up there, and is also hitting these high strings well enough so that they're not buzzing. It is a little bit of a tricky play there, so I'll go ahead and put that up and play through it. This next part is very similar to that one, so I'll also have it up on the screen. It does have a variation here where there's a small slide that he does, and you can do it with your pinky or your ring finger. I think I do it with my ring finger. Yeah. So you're going to hit the bass note. It's a little bit weird because it's not a very familiar, at least for myself, it's not a familiar position to have my hand in, but that's how it starts out. So I'll put that up on the screen and I'll play through that. Okay, so for the final portion that we're going to learn is the very end of the song. It's a similar descending bass line that we had played earlier, that we learned earlier, and then followed by something that's new that we haven't learned yet. I'll go ahead and show that to you as I don't have that one tabbed out. So we're going to play this. So the way we play that, we start off with what we had already done. We're not going to hit a C. We're actually going to go to our bass note instead. And there it is right there. The very reason we've done all this capo madness is so that we could hit this bass note at the very end of the song. I just think it sounds much more conclusive to the end of the song than hitting an octave higher or something like that. So that's why we had done everything that we've done here. Hopefully it's worth it. But this is going to be the bass note, like I say, for a couple beats. On top of that, we're going to be playing this. We got the 4th fret of the 1st string and 2nd fret of the 3rd string. The 2nd string is going to be open, and we're going to be playing this. So I'll play that again. And I actually switch my middle finger to replace my pointer finger to do that slide. It just puts you in a better position to end the song. And then the final chord that we hit, that we slide up to, is going to be 3rd fret on the bass string. And again, that's 3rd fret relative to this capo. It's actually 5th fret relative to this capo, to make it nice and confusing. But that's 3rd fret, we'll say, with my thumb, and then the middle finger is there from the slide, and then the 5th fret on the high string. And it produces a really beautiful chord. And that's the end of it. So just remember to keep the bass line very consistent. Everything happens around that. Sometimes you'll be playing notes at the same time as the bass note. Sometimes you'll be playing it in between those bass notes. So, like right there, for example, that's 2 notes at the same time, which might not, depending on your level of experience with finger picking, it might come naturally to you or might feel really, might be a bit of an adjustment. But that's it.